between the Miami Dolphins and the Detroit Lions. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken just shy of the 10. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
Here we go, back.
Two and a throw right away. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And Charles, you look at this defense, they were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right.
A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively, because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver, you get the easy reception and also a chance to try to make a play with your feet.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Once again, it's Mostert. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down.
Tua. Open net is Waddle, complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Well, this defense for the Lions, they were very good in the win over Dallas a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense.
Mostert hit, and he drops the ball. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. Past the 20. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5.
And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well.
The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
Here's Swift.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
DeAndre Swift with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
Well, that's how you take advantage of an early turnover. A sudden change situation, meaning ball's turned over. How's both sides going to handle it? One side handled it way better. They went right out on the field and put the ball in the end zone.
One play, that just added insult to injury.
Yeah, that just tells you on the defensive side, they didn't come out ready to go, still reeling from the fact that the ball got turned over.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive.
This offense hoping to do better than last drive. Remember, they had the fumble that set up the short field, and then they gave up the touchdown CD.
And so many people talk about how you have to have a short memory after you make a mistake in the NFL. I don't totally subscribe to that, partner. I think that you have to remember what you did and figure out how to not do it again. Get out there and execute the next time out. Avoid those errors and get some momentum built back up for your offense.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Tua sets up to pass it. Got a man, complete to Cedric Wilson. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Edmonds. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On their own side of the field.
Side of the field. But boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Lions will take over. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know that this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season they could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not.
On first down, it's gone. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Goff now looks to throw. And that's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
And the Lions, first down.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 6 yards there on the keeper. It's 2nd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. He's got it at the 15. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. When you think of guys that are built to be big-arm quarterbacks, Jared Goff, he fits that mold, and he showed it off right there. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. They'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal. 1 quarter down, 8-0 the score.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score of Lions 8, Dolphins nothing.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start. Here's Goff. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted.
And the Dolphins will take over here just shy of the 30.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Here we go. And the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Well, the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And it's caught over the middle. Wilson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
9-yard gain on the play.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the veteran Thomas Morstead on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is brought in at the 21. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they'd better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Now here's a pass on 1st down. It's knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Gong. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing on 3rd, Goff. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And they're going to get him down well short of the 1st as he can only get this to the 30. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that's going to make it 4th down. Jack Fox now gets set to punt. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. Just a 25-yard punt. Not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Goff.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game. Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here. 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Swift trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal.
Swift again.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown.
DeAndre Swift
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Lions are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Goff looking to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside.
From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. 2 and now on 1st down. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Here we go.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Aleem McNeil
Busting throw to get him for a loss of 6.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Tua. And he's got his tight end. It's Mike Gesicki. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time.
This offense has been slow to get started, but that play will certainly give them a little bit of life. Maybe the late wake-up call that they've been seeking.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Touchdown, Dolphins! Mike Gesicki, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make our score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And it'll come out to the 25 as Raymond will elect not to bring it out. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll fake the give. Now Goff.
That's good for a Lions.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy was going to catch it.
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's caught inside the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Goff. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good, and then you give up the touchdown on the last drive, now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. Here comes Khalif Raymond from his end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaking up on the play. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting tones in the half, don't you think? A lot of praise for what they did to get this lead, but also a little bit of scolding because they got to take better care of the football in the second half. But you and I both know the great leaders, they know how to give that little bit of vinegar in there and cover it with a big dose of honey.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Eric Rowe. And the Dolphins are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
After the turnover, it's Tua. Buying time to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
51 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. On first down, they go with Mostert again.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it,
I'd keep going back to him.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. That's complete to Edmonds, his running back. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions 16. That one good for 24 yards.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now a give to Mostert running right.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Tua. This will be caught just inside the 10.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Let's go now.
Here's Tua.
Getting this out to the flat, Mostert.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
So 4th down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit.
From the left hash, a chip shot here. The kick by Sanders is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Give you something to build on for your next possession.
And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble, bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't third down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the first down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Goff's throw complete there to St. Brown. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 43. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot it.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 19. That one goes for 24 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. From the red zone now, Goff. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to throw. Goff. His throw incomplete.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, but now it's 3rd down. Goff, a handoff here to Swift. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This will get the lead up to 7. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this will stay a 4-point game. Now, this was still going to be a 1-score game either way, but still, that's a potentially harmful miss here in the 4th.
It certainly is, because if you consider that now if they give up a touchdown, they give up the lead. So he might be getting the side eye by the defenders coming out on the field now as he goes back to the bench after that miss.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Tua going to throw. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team, but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first. Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Tua. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Drop for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
And what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
And the Dolphins first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And they had it there so close to the goal line, a chance to take it across, claim the lead here in the 4th. Boy, that was a big, big mistake.
It really was, and as much as I want to give credit to the defense for making the play, I do tend to agree with you. That mistake, that's a chance to go in and take the lead. I mean, you're in great shape, yet you don't take care of the football. But they'll be going over that like crazy in the upcoming weeks.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Throwing again on 2nd down. Goff. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. And he's going to be marked down.
Offense like you drive, the pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Goff throwing again. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 25 yards that time.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here. These last few plays, they have moved right down the field. And just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
Gone. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
On 2nd down, Swift. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. DeAndre Swift, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the Lions are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2.
Lions 20, Dolphins 10.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10.
And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24.
Their own 24-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, right now, they're in a bit of a tough spot here, CD. You're trailing by double digits. Remember the last time out, they fumbled. They're going to have to play some clean football here on this possession.
And all the talk on their sideline has been about taking care of the football, making sure that they're handling the ball correctly. So you know they'll be squeezing the rock pretty tight here. They just have to be careful not to go so hard at doing that they actually cause themselves other problems. Take care of the ball, but still try and play free and natural.
Tua to throw.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Here's Tua.
He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
That's caught by Wilson.
And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down.
Now Tua.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
No, we're not.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. 35 seconds to play. Everything will come down here to this onside kick. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And this will be covered up by the Lions, and that might just about seal the deal. Now, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here at their own 23.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, with the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Probably time for 2 more shots, and ideally, they'd like to get to midfield or so they have a chance at a Hail Mary on the final play.
Tua.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his helmet. Got to totally command and make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Tagovailoa. Oh, he forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. Picked off by Amani Oruwariye.
And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10.
One final try for Tagovailoa. This for all the marbles.
And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it, and this one's over.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Detroit, they move back over 500 now at 4-3. And they'll get another home date next week as the Packers will come to town. Meanwhile, for Miami, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.